Hey, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Real Thoughts with Bob Benham. And I am your host, Bob Benham. Thank you for joining me. I know it has been a while. I have been back on the sidelines watching the garbage going on in the world today, as usual. And plus, I just been wanting to just take a break from the garbage too. I needed to have some space and just chill. You know what I mean? Especially with now that the attacks going on in Iran and stuff, and doing the regime change, which I am for, um, because it was time. Um, it's 47 years overdue, especially with the fact of what they did to us, the United States, when the regime change originally happened in Iran, when the mullahs and the idiots with the extremists, Islamist extremists, took over and overran our embassy and took our hostages and held them and for 444 days. And that was 443 days too long, in my opinion. Um, so um, it was it was definitely time to take care of business, especially when we had five presidents that said they were going to take care of business, and none of them did. So it was time, and President Trump finally said, "You know what? We're going to do it." And so he went ahead and did it, and now it's done. Hopefully, the Iranian people will step up and do their part in taking care of getting a uh, democratically or republicly elected government um, put in place. Hopefully, they can get rid of the extremists, the Islamist extremists, and get their Persian um, roots back into place. Maybe even restore the Persia name instead of Iran, um, and kind of get back to their roots. That would be nice. Um, Not sure if it can happen, but it would be a start in the right direction as far as I'm concerned. But who knows? It's just one of those things that it will play out the way it needs to play out. I just hope that um, the Iranian Republican or Republic Guard, whatever you want to call them, idiots, are gone, and that we can finally get some semblance of peace over there. Um, I, oh gosh, I can't tell you um, how glad I am that President Trump finally did what needed to be done. Um, Hopefully, it will take hold, and it the right thing will occur out of this. Who knows? Um, I know the Iranians, the bad guys, have already tried to say that the son of Khomeini is already in charge and all that garbage, and uh, obviously He's not appeared in public. He's only been shown in photos, which leads me to believe he may be dead. Who knows? Nobody knows where he's at. Um, so uh, it's it's a toss up. It's really a toss up. So um, we're playing games as usual. And Iran's always liked to play games. They've always played the game of, oh, well, we'll do whatever you say and we'll make deals. And then, of course, they break their end of the deal. And because that's what terrorists do. And we end up having to do this or do that and have to take care of business with them again. And then, it's just a never ending deal. And 47 years has been too damn long to get this resolved. Um, so I'm glad that the president has done it. I'm glad that Israel has assisted with this all. Um, it's like I said, it's been 47 years too long. Um, I remember when the hostages were taken, I was, 13 years old when that all occurred. Um, because I was a paper boy at the time, I was delivering the Cleveland Press. And I remember reading about it. And because when I delivered the newspaper, I'll tell you what, the first thing I did when I went to go pick up the papers to deliver is I would pop one out of the bundle and I would read the doggone thing from cover to cover, and then I would load up my bags and off I went to deliver. So it kind of gave me some background, I guess you could say, and some knowledge of what was going on back at that time. Um, and so I kind of had an idea. Um, of course, the media's always been biased, so you kind of had to take it with a grain of salt. That's just how it is. But today it's, God, I I just I don't know. I really don't know with the media now. Um, they are horrible, plain and outright horrible. Um, but that's what are you gonna do? Um, you got to just be careful about what you read, and you just have to go about you just have to look and be careful about sources and things like that. When it comes to stuff going on in the government, I try hard to go right to government websites, right to the state or the state, state house of representatives, state senate websites to look straight at the bills that are being debated to find out exactly what the hell's in them. Because 9 times out of 10, whatever the party line is on these bills is totally opposite of what the bill says. So you just kind of have to read the bill to understand what's going on about it. Um, Especially if it's one that's being voted on. There's a bill in Ohio that they're trying to decide about qualified immunity for government employees like police officers, firefighters, uh, whether or not they should be immune from lawsuits in the performance of their duties. And I can tell you right now, if it were me, uh, thank God I'm retired. But if this gets passed into law and police officers and firefighters lose this qualified immunity, I'd be out of there. I mean, my resignation or retirement, whatever, would be turned in the next day because I would not, I would not have put ha- allow my family, my house, anything to be at risk because of the if I made the slightest mistake in the performance of my job. And that's what's so sickening is that you know police officers, firefighters are human beings. That's just the facts. They try their hardest to be do their jobs as good as possible. I mean, it's when you're a police officer, you're under that constant pressure because there's so much laid on your shoulders. There is. I mean, you don't realize it um, unless you wear the badge. All these people, these keyboard warriors that sit and just bash the police, these morons that go out and protest, um, and criticize what the police do, especially like now with the whole ICE situation going on, the way they criticize the ICE officers and stuff like that. Those guys are being crucified on a daily basis. You have people following them. You have people trying to run them off the road. You have people doing just insane things to these guys. And then you expect them to just be real nice to these people and treat them like with kid gloves and stuff? No, no way, not happening. These people need to be held accountable for what the hell they're doing. And let me tell you something right now. If it was me being harassed by a citizen, oh boy, oh boy, you'd be getting yanked out of your car and handcuffed in a split second. These guys are being too nice to these people. It's crazy. Um, it, law and order Unfortunately, the Democrats have pushed us way, way too far with pushing the kid glove thing and just making it where um, everything is, you just can't do anything to a citizen with the police. 'Cause, I mean, I'm just gonna say this: if you comply, you do what the officer says, no harm will come to you. No harm will come to you. All you have to do is comply. If the officer says, get out of your car, get out of your car. If the officer says, put your hands behind your back, put your hands behind your back. Period. Do not resist. Do not tense up. Just do what the officer says. If he asks you for your driver's license, yes, sir. Here you go. If he asks you for your registration, yes, sir. Or ma'am, here you go. Do not resist, either passively, actively, whatever. Don't argue with them about what you're being stopped for. Do not just comply. There is a place to do the arguing, and that's called a courtroom in front of a judge. That's what that was set up for. You do not argue in front out on the street. That's not the place to do it. All the officer is there for is to enforce the laws that are written and on the books. He's there to enforce them. Period. If he thinks that there's probable cause to arrest you, he can do that. He swears out a warrant and a complaint, and you go to jail. Pure and simple. Done. You have no say in it whatsoever. So you quit with this BS. Quit getting in their face, quit spitting on them, quit throwing things at them because you're making it worse on yourself. And no matter what, no matter what, anytime an officer has to lay hands on a person to place them under arrest, it is never, ever going to look good. Never. That is a fact. Just not. You have to put your hands on them to put the handcuffs on them. If they struggle a little bit, it doesn't look good. And if they struggle a lot to the point where you have to put them on the ground or whatever, it's not going to look good. Trust me, the officers don't want to have to do that. They don't look forward to doing that. They just wanna say, "Hey, put your hands behind your back, put the cuffs on, put them in the car, and go on down the road. Do the paperwork that they need to do and go on their way to the next run and handle whatever." It's that's all. That's all. But that's everybody thinks police make everything up and just have to pick on everybody. No. No. That's not how it's done. That is the most crazy stuff being said. And the only side that's saying it are the leftists. And it's the far leftists that are saying it. They're the ones that the fascists that are saying it. They'd rather have the police gone so they can do whatever the hell they want. That's the whole point of it. They want to be able to control the police and have them do their bidding. That's the whole point of it. It's not about Joe Blow being arrested and blah blah blah. It's not about any of that. Democrats and leftists are good at making crap up and lying straight out their evil mouths. There's just everything, everything that comes out of their mouths is a lie. Everything. And if you listen to a conservative, I guarantee you that at least 90% of what they're telling you is the truth. At least. Do conservatives lie too? Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Sometimes, I mean, they're going to do it too because they're going to try to get their point across and they want to make sure they win their argument too. They're going to give you some kind of crap. Of course they do, especially politicians. These politicians are horrible. That's why I always say one party, two names. I don't trust, there ain't a politician out there that I trust. Not one. The only person that I have basically any trust in that's in elected office is Donald Trump. And the only reason why I do trust him halfway is because he's not a politician, he's a businessman. And when you watch how he handles things, he handles it like he's running a business because that's what he does. That's what he's used to. He's used to going in and getting things done. He knows he walks in knowing that day what he's going to do for that day. He's got a list. Okay, we're going to do this, 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 and this, and that's what we're going to do. And if And if you don't get that job done today, we're going to have a problem. That's what it is. That's how he is. I've known a few businessmen in my life, and that's how they are. And when you have him, I hear all these people all the time. Oh, he's horrible on Twitter. Blah blah blah. He runs his mouth all the time. Businessmen always think. They are always have their minds are going a million miles an hour all the time. So all of their they just throw things out there. Whatever's on their mind comes out right at the moment. It might not be the right thing to say at that time. It may not be uh, washed down before it comes out or filtered or whatever. It just comes out. Whatever is on their mind, it's out there. And does it hurt sometimes? Oh yeah. Yeah. But does it get the job done? Oh yeah. Does it get people motivated? Definitely. Because hey, it has to get the job done. It has to get the job done. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen. Everything's going to be at a standstill. And sadly, this is what really is just irking the hell out of me is the fact that here we have Republican House, Republican Senate, Republican presidency, supposedly. Supposedly. And what's happening? Nothing, nothing is being done in the House and the Senate. Nothing. They're sitting on their hands. President Trump's sitting there writing all these executive orders out and writing all this stuff out to get stuff done and get things moving and keep things moving, expecting because the House leader and the House Senate majority leader says, oh, yeah, we're going to take all this stuff and get it codified. We're going to work on it and get it codified. You go ahead and keep going. And they're just sitting on their hands. The Save America Act. What have they done with that? Nothing. Senator John Thune. What a joke. What a freaking joke. Oh, well, we got we can't do the talking filibuster because we don't know how long that will go. We can't do. We got other stuff we got to take care of first, and we don't know how long that's going to take. And um, well, shut the hell up. Just shut up. You sound like Mitch McConnell and the dumb shit he was. And I already knew that you were going to be like him to begin with. How horrible. RINO. Republican in name only. because all you do is side with the Democrats and sit on this stuff and all that stuff. And as soon as President Trump leaves office, and especially if a Democrat gets elected, you're going to be just like Mitch McConnell on the day that Joe Biden was sworn into office. And you're going to sit there and be all smiles and all happy, happy, and patting the Democrats on the back and joking and laughing, and everything's going to be just fine. You're a, you're a joke. You're the joke. Meanwhile, the rest of us have to suffer for it. We, the people, have to suffer for it. There's a reason there's a movement in this country. There's a reason you see vehicles driving around that have "We the People" on them. It's because they're tired of your bullshit. They're tired of it. And trust me when I say there's going to be a time, there's going to be a time when they've had enough. And it will be ugly for the politicians. It'll make January 6th look like child's play. You thought you were scared then? January 6th was planned by the FBI and the CIA, and it didn't go to plan. An innocent woman got murdered because of it. Don't know why that Capitol officer's still walking free. If it was anybody else, they'd have been in jail a long time ago for life, for aggravated murder. That's just fact. It's crazy. It's crazy. I have seen too much in my lifetime. Way, way, way too much. Then you got morons. Oh, like, oh, there was this Senator Mark Kelly from Arizona. Oh my God. When he popped up and decided to run for senator, I knew right away he was trouble. And unfortunately, the dumb shits in Arizona elected him. That's because you get, sadly, Arizona's now got too many Californians living there, and they're all brought their stupidity from California with them. So they're turning Arizona into California, sadly. And same thing's happening in Texas. They brought their California to Texas with them, and they're turning Texas into same thing. And I know because I watched it. Uh, I was a Texas resident for about 15 years and watched it slowly start to turn blue. And I was like, oh, this is not good. And I love Texas. Oh my gosh, I love Texas. Texas is the one state in the union that it has everything. Absolutely everything. You want beaches? Go to Galveston. Go on the Gulf Coast. You got your beaches and you got your salt water. You want to go hill country, you got hills and all that good stuff. You got in wonderful forests and all that, trees and uh, I mean, and then you can go on to the flats and out toward Midland and Odessa, where the oil fields are, and it's just flat prairie with oil wells as far as you can see, and you just smell that crude everywhere. Unreal. Then you can go up to Amarillo too, where the flats are. I mean, it is windy up there. Oh my gosh. Um, then as you keep going west, you got the desert out there toward El Paso and the mountains, and oh, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And the best part about El Paso, yeah, you're in the desert, but it doesn't get ungodly hot like it does when you get further west into New Mexico and Arizona. Um, it's just, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And yeah, Texas and then Fredericksburg, uh, the town of Fredericksburg in Texas. Oh, nice town. That's where Admiral Chester Nimitz is from, and he his life story, and they have a museum to him there. Um, incredible, incredible. Um, just a lot of history in that state. Um, huge state. Oh my gosh. Um, you don't realize how big it is till you're in it and start driving it, and or if you try to drive across it, um, you start like in Beaumont and try to drive across to El Paso. You're talking 900 miles. It's long drive. Um, and or even going north south like Brownsville up to Texarkana or even trying to get up to Amarillo. Oh Lord. Now the good thing is the speed limit they have once you get out to the western part of the state, the speed limit's 80 miles an hour, and you make up some time out there. And but the weird thing is when if you've been rolling at 80 miles an hour for quite a while, you get off that interstate and 35 makes it feel like you're just driving like so slow. You're like you're just thinking, "Geez, let's get back on the interstate and keep going." 'Cause it feels like a crawl, worse than a crawl. Oh man, but yeah, Texas is it's my kind of state. Uh, I just loved it out there. Um, but yeah, um, I hate the fact that these idiots are moving like they are, and then you got the idiots that are just they're taking like well, California's got this wealth law they just passed where they're going to tax billionaires. They got to pay their fair share. Billionaires already pay their fair share. They pay more in taxes than it's crazy. And it just, oh, people are so dumb. Anyway, they passed this wealth tax. And Washington State just did the same thing. And they made this crazy, both states made this ungodly ungodly taxes on the billionaires and stuff like that. And guess what? They're bailing out. They're like, nope, not paying it. We're out of here. So they're bailing out to Texas and Florida, where there are no state income taxes. You don't pay a state income tax in either state. And that was beautiful. That was the other reason why I was in Texas, and it's nice. I mean, you pay your federal income tax, and you don't even have to worry about state taxes or anything like that. You just pay a state sales tax, and I think it was like 7% or something like that, um, which is pretty much the standard all over. Um, so I was like, this ain't bad. It can handle that. Um, but you got these morons doing this to their citizens. What the hell are they thinking? You're going to tax your billionaire. You're sending your wealth out of your state. S- So where are you going to get that money now? If you're sending it out of the state, and then besides that, the corporations are moving out of the state. You're losing all your businesses. I mean, what was it? I think it was Chevron and a couple other major corporations left California. You got Silicon Valley corporations moving out of California. That's a lot of money just walking away. And California sits there and claims they're the fourth largest economy in the world. Not long. They're not going to be for long. No way. The only thing they got going for them right now is Long Beach because it's a huge shipping terminal. But even that's going to end up God knows what because there's nothing to I mean there's no companies there to take stuff to other than other than to bring it to Long Beach put it on rail, and send it to the heartland. That's it. Union Pacific just is merging with Norfolk Southern Railroad and to create a transcontinental railroad, and so that way they can bring stuff to the heartland easier. Beautiful move. Beautiful move. And that was, I mean, they're looking at hmm, making ton of money, so they can ship all that stuff right into the heartland. Bring it right in. Truckers are going to lose because the rail's going to pick it all up. Because rail can move it for a lot less money than trucking, a lot less money. But hey, it's it's amazing how they just don't get it. It was like out in California, they went and this they were mandating all these electric vehicles. Everything had to be electric by 2035. How are they going to pay for the roads? How are they going to maintain their highways? They were maintaining them by gasoline taxes. They have the highest gasoline tax in the United States. That's why fuel in California is actually it's like $5 or $6 a gallon. I remember when I was out there, the last time I was out in California was in 2019. And back then, in early 2020, back then it was six something a gallon. And I was stunned because that's when COVID was just getting going. And I couldn't wait to I mean, I was on where I was living at that time, I was about 30 miles inside the Arizona border. But every so often I had to go into California to do grocery shopping. And man, when everything, all that started hitting and the prices started going crazy and out of sight, and watching the money, how amount of money things started costing, and when it's in California side, I was like, "Holy cow! People here are not going to be able to afford to live here." It was insane. The fuel prices, the way they jumped and everything, and I mean, the policies of the Californians. I mean, like I said, they're mandating the electric vehicles by 2035. They're not going to be able to collect any fuel tax because it's all going to be electric. So how are they going to pay for the roads to maintain them? The vehicles that have run off of electric, they weigh more than combustion engine vehicles because the batteries weigh more, make the vehicle weigh more. So that's more wear and tear on the highways. I remember when they were started complaining about the electric vehicles and not paying the their part of the gasoline tax to help with the roads, so they started charging vehicles that were electric or hybrid out in California. They ended up raising their registration fees to like $200 or $300 per year instead of whatever it was for a combustion engine car, and the people went nuts. And I was laughing. I said, "Well, there's your cost of of climate change for you. I mean, they don't think this stuff through. They don't. It's all a bunch of crap. It's a the climate change stuff is a lie. They changed the name of it to climate change because that's a naturally occurring uh, a thing. The climate's always changing, always has ever since planet Earth came into existence. The climate's always been changing. It's continually changing. It's called Mother Nature. You talk to any geologist, and they'll tell you they can look at the layers in the mountains and say, "Oh yeah, in this phase right here, it was this. The temperatures were this. In this phase up in this area of the rock, it was this." And they can tell you exactly when the climate had changed. Exactly. Oh yeah, right in this area, the temperatures were about 40 degrees higher. This temperature here it was 40 degrees lower. This how many ice ages have we had? How many times has it been that the temperatures were hot and humid and um, deserts didn't exist and blah blah blah. Give me a break. And they're set talking about the carbon being higher or whatever. That's a fallacy. It's false. Do some research. I mean, people don't fall for the garbage. I mean, this is what's so sad in our country and stuff right now. The Democrats have this wonderful catch-all line: "Follow the science. Follow the science." Well, you follow the science, and it'll tell you that climate change ain't real. At least what their global warming ain't real, like they claim. Climate change is real. It's always going on, always has been. But global warming and cooling and whatever, false. Bunch of garbage. We've had been warned about, oh God, I can't tell you how many times of different things that was going to happen to to planet Earth within 10 years. The oceans were going to be dry and blah 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 blah. This, that, and other. Uh, man was going to be dead in 10 years because of this catastrophic thing because of the climate, and this catastrophic thing because of the climate. We're still here. The oceans are still here. This is still here. That's still there. All lies. All lies. It was just to make somebody rich. That's all. Don't believe it. Look at these people that are telling you this crap about global warming and climate change, and the fact that there's ice is melting, the poles are melting, the Arctic ice, and everything else, all that garbage, and the oceans are rising. Lies. And because if they were telling you the truth, they would not be buying oceanfront property. Think about that. Why would they buy oceanfront property? Oh, yeah, the ice caps are melting and the oceans are rising, and I'm going to buy my property right on the beach. Give me a break. You think I'm that damn dumb? They do think you're that dumb. They do think you are that dumb. Too much. Too much. I could go on forever, as usual. But that's about it for this week, or at least for a couple days, whatever, till I decide to jump on here again. In the meantime, please watch out, especially now with what's going on in Iran. These idiot Muslims are out to get us. They are here. They are watching. They're already doing their crap in New York City. We're seeing it. Please watch yourselves. Watch out for what's going on. They're going to try crap. Don't be a victim. Please watch out for each other. Watch out for yourself, especially. Be careful. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. God bless our troops. They will get the mission done. I have no doubt about that. God bless President Trump. God bless Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. Push on. Get it done. Don't waste time. Get it done fast. We can't drag this out. You've been watching and listening to Real Thoughts with Bob Benham. I am Bob Benham. Thank you for listening. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.